Hello and welcome back to Football Manager 2024. It's the Port Vale save and it's part 10 today. Now we left it in part 9 with the registration of the squad needed. I didn't really have a lot of time to go through that. So I've now done it and that's all been put forward. So starting in the under-18s, you can see at the moment that Ryan Loft did go out on loan. We now have 5 players on loan from the club. We have 8 youth players in the under-18s. And we have Tom Conlon, who's long-term injured, still out for at least 2 to 3 months. And we have Jason Vale, a goalkeeper that we're trying to loan out. Nobody's interested in him as yet. So that's pretty much it in the under-18s. Now, we have got 34 in our senior squad, and the reason for that is because Lewis Cass, I'm trying to sell him rather than loan him. If we go into transfer status, you can see that Bolton and Carlisle are interested in transferring him. So at the moment, I've made him unavailable for loan, but transfer listed. So we'll see if one of those two can come in. We have him there at 110,000 at the moment. So we'll see if any of that materialises. But otherwise, we seem to have a lot of blues at the moment in the team, which are loans in. So we've got 3, 6, 8 of those. And don't forget, in competitive matches, you can only have 5 in your squad. So thank God I rotate a lot. But if we look at most of the players here and look at their form and their ratings, you can see that we do have a lot in green at the moment, which tells us they're playing very well. Again, I know we're playing teams that are lower in divisions, but we have won 4 from 4. And comfortably as well. We beat Salisbury 4-0, we beat Kidderminster Harriers 4-1, Kettering Town, we thumped them 6-0, and Macclesfield, we've beaten 3-0. So we've got one more friendly against Ilkeston Town, and then we up it them. We play Shrewsbury and Carlisle, who are both in the same league as us, hence be it that they're going to be around where we're supposed to finish. So I'm hoping we can get a couple of draws out of that. Maybe some kind of win. And after our friendly today against Ilkeston, I'm then going to go back in scouting and looking for some players. We've still got 2,950 to spend on wages and nearly 80,000 in the transfer budget. We've got a scouting budget sitting there of 68,000 that I can use some of that as well if need be. And in our transfers, that's just to say that Ryan Loft is on his way out from the club. And we still haven't heard from Josh Hines yet. Now, when I said to you about Josh Hines play striker, he won't be playing there. But he does play AML, AMR that we don't play at this club. But I'm going to put him as an MR. I know he's unconvincing there at the moment, but I'm going to train him up in that position. And his preferred foot is right anyway. Again, only to the end of the season. His points aren't brilliant, but they're okay. And I'll see if I can get maybe 3 or 4 more players like this to join us to the end of the season, just in case of injuries or anything we can't see into the future for. So let's go back into tactics now. Well, actually, no, let's go to squad. Let's have a look at the players that are fit. If we go on condition, make sure you put condition at the bottom for now, and then we're going to have a look. We've got 2 players out at the moment, Gavin Massey and James Plant, and also Callum Sullivan, typical isn't it, hasn't kicked the ball yet. He's come to us and now he's got slightly injured out for 4 days. James Wilson still hasn't shook off his injury either, but he can play 45 minutes, so we don't have a problem with any of that. And that's our full squad of players. If we want to go into the registration, which I've done for now, you don't have to register goalkeepers in League One, and anybody under age of 20, 21 basically. The under 21s don't have to be registered. So other than that, we have a minimum squad size of 15 players. We've got to that. We've got a maximum squad size of 22, so we can still sign players. And we've got a minimum of 8 players trained by Port Vale or trained in England for the last 3 years before the 21st birthday. We're easily over that as well on 13. So that's what I had to do at the end of the last episode. So moving on now, we will go into the tactics and we'll see who is available to play. Well, Wickens will start and we would have Ripley on the bench. Let's just take these under 18s out, so because none of them will get anywhere. Right, yeah, Wickens to start, Ripley on the bench. And I have moved a few players here. You can still see we've got Donbrook as our 3rd goalkeeper because Luke Vale can't stay into the seniors because there's already 2 there. Then we've got Mitch Clark and Dan Jones. Now Mitch Clark starts on the left and Dan Jones on the bench. Don't forget, I put the first 11 on for 45 minutes, and then in the second half, our second 11 will come on and play. Now again here, we've only got 2, and that's our 3rd one. We need to try and improve there. Try and get somebody that may be an under 21 player on 300 plus. Into the DCs. I think one of these is still on a holiday. Let me just look. I think he was coming back. Yeah, here he is. Target set. I'm not sure if that means he's back with us. I'll give that a gamble and put him in. But we've got Kofi Barmer and Leo Hageld. So there's Barmer. Let me see if I can put him in without a problem here. Yep, so I take it that is him back off his UEFA under 21 duties. That would leave Smith and Debra on the bench. So let's just get this right. Nathan Smith and in a completely wrong place there. So Smith and Debra. So we'll change Smith for Cass. Right, so that's our full 4 being used there. We have still got these 2 in the under 18s, but we will look for someone in the DC because I didn't want to keep Lewis Cass again. I filled the top 4 senior players up. He becomes 5th, so he's one that we really want out of the club. Then moving on to the right defenders, Jason Lowe, Thomas Seng. And Jason Lowe starts and Thomas Seng there. on the bench for the first half. And I did add a third in here of Callum Sullivan, but he's got himself injured in training. And then the other two here, Ben Lomax and Alessandro Trapasso, obviously under 18s, and that's where they're sitting because they're both 16. Then into our midfield left, we brought in Lewis Beckett, that we said was not going to be good enough, but had a very good friendly last time. So we're going to start with Connor Grant, and Lewis Beckett will make the bench, still in orange here, which obviously means he needs to get some more sharpness. But they're playing 45 minutes a game, so they have chances there. Now, Jack Shorrock is our third player there. Not sure if I'm going to try and get anyone to beat him because his points are not too terrible. I know he can play in DL, so I'm not sure what I'll do with him yet, but he's definitely played a couple of good friendlies, but whether the increase to first team duties would work at all, I don't know. Then into the midfield centrals, where again we've got a couple of lone players here, and we're going to start with OG and Garrity. They're going to start in the centre as usual, and then on the bench we're going to have Alfie Devine and Oliver Arblaster. So there's those two, no problems. And then on the right of midfield, we've taken Gavin Massey out now, because Gavin Massey will, after he comes back from his injury, will be put up for transfer listed out of the club. We need that £3,000, but whether anybody's going to come in for him is a different thing. So we have Ethan Chislett and Ellis Taylor, who's now pretty much formed himself into the right midfielder role. So Chislett will start and Ellis Taylor will make the bench there. And up front, we have signed a new player on loan from Tottenham. Very, very good, this youngster looks. This is Jamie Donnelly. And he's going to start up front with Uche Ikpeazu. So Thomas is going to make bench this time. So we're going to bring Thomas down at the moment onto the bench. And we're going to move Donnelly into the starting lineup. So Ikpeazu and Donnelly will start, and Josh Thomas and James Wilson will be on the bench. So that's our 11 done there. But you can see that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 of these loanees are all here in this game today. So this would not be able to happen in a league game. So we'll take a little bit more thinking out that. But Lewis Beckett and perhaps Donnelly there need a little bit more match sharpness. And of course, Leo for Helge. So that's the team done. We'll move this on. The team selection is all there. I'm pretty happy with that. I only bother with 11. And I'm pleased to see that all the players are happy again, that I've made the right decisions. And of course the right decisions are being them, making sure they play. But I don't take any notice of anybody. Whoever I'm going to start and play, that's fine. Now into the dressing room. This is another game we're needing to win this comfortably. And being in League One, League Two, Conference North, you know, maybe 3 to 4-0 again, but it's not telling us nothing, but it's getting the players out there to become fit, beginning to learn the 4-4-2 wing play style that I like. And we're going to kick off. It says waiting for highlights here, but I'm not sure we've even kicked off yet. Right, and there we go. I must have hit the pause button, I think. So an early corner for Port Vale, and Grant will take this. Keeper comes to collect and gets hold of it. Moving the ball nicely at the moment. And what a great goal. Oosh, Ikpeazu. A brilliant pass, assist. I mean, Donnelly passes the ball on here to Chislett, and Chislett straight the way through Ikpeazu. And just over 2 minutes gone, and that's an early lead for Port Vale. So a long way to go yet, but we've got one assist on the board for Chislett and a goal for Ikpeazu. And there we go. Now we've got an injury, and as I said to you, the injuries will always come in an ML and an MR when you don't have any players to take over. So we need to look at what we're going to do here. He needs to come off. And Grant will come off here for Lewis Beckett. Firm sub. And now you wished you used the other 4 spaces you had. But there we go. So Lewis Beckett will need to stay on now until the end of the game. And this is why I have to try and get players in all the time for left midfield and right midfield, because the game knows you're short and will definitely get them injured, so you struggle in those positions. And what a header that was. You say Paisu again. A good player, this. 403 points rating I've got him on. And we need to be 383 in that position. So he could be playing at a higher level, maybe still in League One, but more at the top. So we're just over 10 minutes gone, and Port Vale already 2-0 in front. And as I said, I was looking for maybe 3 to 4-0. And we've only let 1 goal in 4 friendlies so far before today. Chislett chances his luck there, but it's wide of the goal. And we've got 13 minutes on the clock. Port Vale 2, Ilkeston Town 0, 4 shots to 0, 1 corner to 0. But like I've been seeing in most of our games, the possession is under. That was 44 to 56. Chislett coming forward again with the ball. Is he going to pass this time? No. Back it goes to Lowe. And a good cross in. It's headed away this time. Ojo collects the ball. In by Clark. Donnelly. And that's headed over the bar. So yeah, soon after this game, I'm going to start looking for players, so I won't be running it on. We won't know if Josh Hines is going to come unless he's coming literally after the game. Chislett again working it down this right side. Keeps hold of the ball. Crosses it in. And it's headed away again by Ilkeston. Ojo. Back to Chislett. Chislett going alone. He does like a shot, does Chislett. Chislett with the ball again, keeps himself very busy. And this time it is put in. Ush Ikpezu has a quick hat-trick in 21 minutes. And a warm round of applause from the crowd there. He wasn't going to miss an open goal from about 3 yards out. But this will be totally different once we start playing league football. We'll have some hard teams to face there. Bolton Wanderers, Derby County, Portsmouth. Some big name clubs in that division. So we've gone past the first 25 minutes and it's Port Vale 3, Ilkeston Town 0. Chislett knocks the ball across to Ojo, and Ojo goes alone, and that shot's gone over the bar. 8 shots to 0, 2 corners to 0, but still behind with this possession on 47, 48 now to 52. And a lot of our players' ratings are very high in this game, all in green. And again, Ilkeston can only just about get in the Port Vale half. Off. A great shot from Donnelly. Hits the top of the bar and post. and the ball comes back to Chislett. Knocks it in by Garrity, and a great header, but very unlucky. It's gone for a corner, that, to Port Vale. Chislett with the corner. Oh, and it's headed away. But Beckett will get this to cross it. I don't know what he's doing on the right. And Chislett, I knew he was going to shoot then. Corner again to Port Vale. Chislett, very, very busy. And it's away by Ilkeston Town. So it's all right, I've brought a new goalkeeper in and a new defender, but when you're playing teams like this, I don't think they're getting a touch of the ball. So a free kick to Port Vale, taken by Chislett. Beckett hits the defender, and that's away by Ilkeston. So Ilkeston short passing, trying to work it from the back. 6 minutes to half time. It's all Port Vale. Donnelly now coming forward. Good cross, keeper comes for it and misses it. But the header is over the bar. So 5 minutes to go to half time plus any injury. Got 14 shots to 0. They haven't really been in our half yet. 4 corners to 0 and 53 possession to 47. So we've got back in front on that. And an Ikpeazu hat-trick has put Port Vale in a 3-0 comfortable lead over Ilkeston Town. Free kick, and Chislett way over the bar this time. The only thing I don't like about this guy, he just doesn't pass to anybody. He will take the corner. And again, away by Ilkeston. Ikpeazu gets the ball, back to Lowe, back to Garrity. And we've got 3 minutes added on for the first half. Donnelly comes forward, gives the ball to Chislett. Chislett, back to Lowe, to Garrity, back to Lowe. Garrity again, ball across to Ojo, oh, hit the bar. And that's come out now. Crossed by Clark. It's headed away by Ilkeston. So a very impressive first half here from Port Vale. And the whistle's gone for half time. Doing brilliantly. And we're going to take all the players off except for one, of course, which is Lewis Beckett, who's going to have to stay on. We don't have anybody else for that position. So everyone getting replaced here. But again, even though we've got someone like Donnelly, who they think is going to be very good for this league, he still needs to go through these friendlies. And Alfie Devine comes on as well for the second half. And Ellis Taylor, don't forget we have him as a dual there, left and right. So at worst, if I didn't have anybody, he could have taken Connor Grant's place. But it's a shame he's injured. Connor Grant's quite a good player. Back to the dressing room, and then it will be the start of the second half with what I like to say is our second string. And there the names come up on the screen for you. Who's on, who's off. And of course, when you do this and you put a complete second string out in the second half, they're hungry as well. So they will still want to win the same by 3-0 in the second half. This is what happened when we played Kettering, when we won 3-0 in the first half and a further 3-0 in the second half. And Thomas tries to get on the end of that. And Beckett will keep it in. And that's given away. And Ilkeston try to come forward, but it's a bad pass. Wilson back to Thomas. Tries to chip the keeper. And he manages to get it away for a corner to Port Vale. I'm not sure what happened there, whether it was a handball or something happened in that box. But Devine is putting the ball on the penalty spot here. And we know he takes a good penalty. And that one not so brilliant, but puts Port Vale 4-0 up, and that's his third penalty straight in the goal. So only 2 minutes gone in the second half there. And you can see that all the players here at the start of the second half are all peak fitness, but Lewis Beckett is on good because he had to play most of the first half. corner to Port Vale. Thomas Sang going to take this. Gets it nicely in there, but I was going to say cleared by Ilkeston, but only as far as Thomas. And a header goes over the bar there. So we've nearly completed the first hour, just over 30 minutes to go. Port Vale 4, Ilkeston Town 0, 21 shots to 0, 11 corners to 1. And Ellis Taylor now brings the ball forward. Wilson's got it, tries to get Thomas out there. Back to Taylor, Sang. And Sang, Thomas can't get on the end of it. And it's cleared by Ilkeston. And now Beckett picks the ball up on the left-hand side. Good cross in. Thomas can't get on the end of it. And Taylor does. He's crossed it in. And unlucky for Wilson there. But it's gone for another corner to Port Vale. So Ellis Taylor with the corner. And right across goal. No one picks that one up. But yeah, we do seem to have a few injuries, considering that the players are only on the field for 45 minutes every 3 or 4 days. It's quite surprising. Corner was floated across by Sang, and now Ilkeston come away, but they've lost that already. And Beckett down the left hand side again, doesn't get challenged, and he gets the ball across. Thomas coming there, and so is Taylor, and Taylor shoots, and that's a great goal by Ellis Taylor. Port Vale 5, Ilkeston Town 0. And this is going to leave us now with 2 friendlies after this one. This is where there'll be slight headaches, mostly more rash challenges. And that one will be against Shrewsbury Town next. And then the last one against Carlisle United before the real football starts. So don't forget to subscribe if you can for me, and leave a comment and a like. And if you look in the comment section, there will be my email address there if you wanted a spreadsheet of the Port Vale save. Just let me know, they are for free. And if you're looking through League One, or you've been the team in League One, and you see anybody that's got some half decent points that are quite young, then let me know, and I'll try and see if I can sign them if they're good enough. And the corner's across to Nathan Smith, who heads it in unchallenged. Port Vale 6, Ilkeston Town 0. So it's the same really here as Kettering Town. They've struggled to get out their own half, and there's still only 70 minutes gone. 25 shots to 0, 15 corners to 1, and 52-48 possession in our favour. And as I said, the second string won't go out there and just hold on to the 3-0. They wanted 3-0 themselves. So coming forward is Ilkeston Town this time. They get the ball in. And it's been put into the side netting. And that was their one chance of the game so far. And again they come forward. Smith gets the ball from the back up to Devine. Wilson. Back to Arblaster. Back to Wilson. He's got Ellis Taylor out on the right here if he chooses, but he's going alone. Gives it to Alfred Devine. And Devine shoots from a long way out, but it's a Johnny Wilkinson kind of shot that. He would have been happy with that one. Lewis Beckett there, just dropping down a little bit in condition, but it will help him on his match sharpness there. He has had to put in quite a long shift today. But we're down now to the last 10 minutes. So it's still holding at 6-0 Port Vale, 27 shots to 1, 15 corners to 3, and 52-48 possession. And Ilkeston having a little bit more of the ball now. With Jones down the left-hand side to Beckett, back to Jones. A long kick forward by Jones, tries to get Thomas. And it's back to Beckett. Beckett with a good ball into the centre. And it's gone out Sang. And Ellis Taylor again. And nearly on the end of it was Thomas. So not long to go now. And another impressive performance today. And the referees added on 2 minutes. And Ilkeston with a bit of a move there in the box and hit the ball towards the goal. It's just gone wide of the post. but there was a slight deflection on it, and they've now got a corner. So as we move into injury time, and that's headed away from goal, and it looks about the last bit of action I think we're going to see. The free kick taken by Sang into Taylor. And that was unlucky in one of the last kicks of the game. Blaster. Our blaster to Beckett. That's it, the whistle's gone. And Port Vale have beaten Ilkeston Town by 6 goals to 0. And it's been impressive. So everybody happy again. I mean, it's even though we're only playing lower league opposition, it still takes some doing to come out winning 6-0. And Connor Grant injured. It's going to be out for 6 weeks, I would think. Yeah, leave to the physio. That's what you pay him for. And let's just run it on past these friendlies. And Josh Hines is going to sign. So we was waiting for him. Thought he might come in after the game. Now again, they should say that Josh Hines may be okay, not brilliant for the club. But I'm struggling to find anybody with high points that would want to come. So this is going to be it, just when it comes up again and shows you Josh Hines. I need a couple of days break there to see if I can actually find anybody. And again, this ML and MR are causing big issues. And when we put Josh Hines into his position, don't forget we need to put him in training for an MR. And there we go. I expected that to come up in brown because the players I'm bringing in at the moment are not the best. But you've always got to have someone ready to come on. That's the difference. So that's put him into MR. He will go into the under-21s. And you can see that I did put MR in grey. And he does play striker in natural. Now let's have a look. I think if I was to have given him a contract, it would only be to the end of 24 season. Yep, and £325. Right, 337 points is his natural ability, and his age is 20. So 337 to 20. Tells us he's worth over 400,000. 415,897. So that's another player that I'm quite happy with, really. Into the development, we'll see they put him in the under-18s for now, but we're going to move into the senior squad, and then we're going in training and putting him into the unconvincing role that is in at the moment, into a winger support. and that's what he'll train for this season. So what I'm going to be looking for, and where we're struggling yet again, is on this left-hand side of midfield, where we've now only got Lewis Beckett. He's the only one that we've got, because Conor Grant's out for 6 weeks. Yes, we've got Jack Shorrock. He will step up, and I think is okay. And then MR now is beginning to fill up there. I'm happy with this. Gavin Massey definitely won't get back into the side for there. That's a definite. I don't think we have anybody else in the club that can play ML. Again, Tom Conlan could have done, but his long-term injury. And moving back to the DCs, there's nobody there who can actually play that position. Nobody there either. And nobody there. So, what we're going to be looking for now, I'm going to at least be trying to sign an ML while you're away. So we'll just have a look in the scouting. See what players we've got here of any interest at all. You do get some turn up that can be quite good. But when I'm looking at some of these that are worth too much money, it's just, I wouldn't be going in for them, I can assure you. That's why they're still sitting there with no club. And Shane Long's appeared on there. But again, it's not that he wouldn't come to us, but he would just want stupid wages. And I don't really want 36 years of age players at the club either. So, we're going to turn this here into ML. I think we're going to have to raise this to about 28. It's not something I really want to do. But it gives me a choice of 3 as it stands. And there's Kelechi Etienne. I've had him before at a non-league club. There would have been a half-decent player, but he's injured and out 4 to 5 months. And Tom Walker, 27 years of age, playing at AFC Field, won 8,000 for him, and he's on £750 a week. So let's just try and add these points up. Yeah, 343. There would not be anything of potential in that, but 343 most probably wouldn't be the end of the world there, because he would definitely be better than Lewis Beckett, and he would go into being our number 1. So maybe that. Let's just have a quick look, make an offer. And they want 8,000 for him, which isn't a problem. And we'll suggest terms they've agreed with that. So we'll finalise that. I'm not saying that's going to be the only player that I get for that position. I might not even sign him yet. I might find someone better. But that's how we're going to leave it this time. We will be back for that next friendly against Shrewsbury Town at home, and then we'll be back again after that for the home tie against Carlisle, and then it's away at Barnsley in League One. We couldn't start with anything more difficult. Home to Hull in the Carabao Cup, another hard tie, and of course Reading that got relegated and a points deduction and now are in the same league as us. So that's about it again, and thanks for taking your time out to watch it, and we'll be back for the next episode. So until then, enjoy.